That was horrible. Hello, welcome back to my story. If you did not know, my name is Harley Nouveau, and the purpose of this channel is to document my journey towards my North Star, while hopefully helping you find yours along the way. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then subscribe to my channel and add your name to the storybook that is my life. In today's chapter, we are going to be reviewing something I'm really excited to review and nobody's at all surprised. Can you guess what it is based off my appearance? I'll wait. If you guessed the Colourpop Meant to Be palette, you were correct. So as you know, it is my mission in life to collect every single 9-pan monochromatic Colourpop palette that there ever will be because I have problems. And my favorite color of all time, if you did not know, is mint green. So I was ecstatic to see that they were coming out with a mint green palette. I do have their other green palette and I might show that off at the end of this. I even got that lip scrubbing mint. Look, you don't choose this life, the life chooses you. As always, the way this review works is I am going to go over each of the colors. I'm going to talk about how the palette performs. And while I'm doing all of that, in the top left or right corner, I'll decide while editing, you will see clips of me applying the shadows so that, you don't have to just take my word on it. I'm a trustworthy person, mostly. Is this going to usurp Strawberry Shake as my favorite 9-pan monochrome palette? Is the Colourpop Meant to Be palette happily ever after or happily never after? Stick around to find out. According to the Colourpop website,
we're feeling so fresh in this pastel mint palette. With 9 minty shades and blendable mattes and bold metallics, this palette will take you from a soft wash of color to a vibrant, dramatic look effortlessly. This pastel mint palette is so fresh.
Fresher than you! I don't know why the hell that's down there. This palette retails for $12. And in order, the colors included are Get Fresh, a matte pastel mint, Mint Tea, a metallic vibrant mint with a gold sheen, Play It Cool, an icy mint green with a duochrome shift. Seltzer, a soft aqua with silver pinpoint. Mojito Mommy, a true mint. Deminthe, a soft dusty mint. Ice Cold, an electric mint. Freshman, a mid-tone mint. And Chill Factor, a deepened mint. I don't know how I get these mirrors so dirty so quickly. As you can tell looking into the pan, there are 5 mattes and 4 metallics. However, this color right here, it's not really picking up unless I get really close and you can kind of see it. Seltzer is what I call a sequin, probably because of Tati, and that it is a matte shadow with some glitter included. So it's not strictly matte. However, when you apply it, it does pretty much just read as matte. Looking at the website and looking at the colors itself, I would say that the descriptions are pretty accurate with the exception of Deminthe, which I would not say is a dusty mint. I would say that's pretty much olive. Chill Factor, again, I don't know if that's a deepened mint. I feel like they were just throwing mint into the names. They could have described it better. And as you can tell looking at it, there are some colors that are pretty much the same, but formula switch, like Get Fresh and Play It Cool are pretty much the same color, but one's metallic, one is matte. And Freshman and Chill Factor, also the same color, pretty much just switched formula. Looking at the component, again, nothing really to write home about. They have a mint leaf above the eye, which I guess is clever if you find it clever. The back is just the name of the shadows, nothing really to report to the press. I actually like the box a lot more because it has those mint leaves all over it. I wish that they would have just copied that onto here. I also really wish that they would stop making these in this like cheap plastic component. At first it was not a big deal when I did the Honey palette, but as time has gone on, I just feel like I'm getting a Happy Meal toy. I'm way past the age of getting Happy Meals, although for the sake of calorie count, I might start. No, I hate McDonald's, what am I saying? And that has nothing to do with this video. The component isn't really that impressive, but it is travel size, which is cute. The mirror is pretty good size. You can see all the crap I got going on over here, the outside. And as far as how the shadows perform, I do have a couple of notes. I noticed when using these, there was quite a substantial amount more of fallout with these than I've experienced in pretty much any other of the 9-pan monochromatic palettes. You might even saw it when I was swatching on my arm, but especially Ice Cold is very soft. Like when I was hardly pressing into it with a brush, it went everywhere and I just tried to pick up the fallout and use that on my eye. When putting it on my actual face, I did not experience as much fallout though, so I think that's just the way it's pressed is the problem. They did blend out very easily and they were very pigmented. I feel like more so than the other palettes that I've used. almost every single one of the colors to me was true to pan. It came onto my skin in the exact same color that was in the pan. The problem is that, and you could probably see this looking into the palette itself, and I've said this before, there isn't a lot of variety. Today, I stuck to literally this section. These are slightly more green toned than blue, whereas I feel these read a little more blue. I don't think there's a lot of diversity that you're gonna be able to get with this palette. And that's a criticism that I have lodged at every single one of these palettes, looking back on them. This has a little bit more because of these two, but not really. This one I used a ton back when it first came out, and not really. This one covered in battery acid, but also not really. You guys know how I felt about the brown sugar palette, but again, not really. Call me biased, if you will. I really love the monochromatic palettes because, I don't know, there's just something about it. I feel like you can collect all of them and you pretty much have any color story you really would want, with the exception of a super deep one. And while you can't get a ton of variety, you can get a little bit. And I feel like that's good for somebody who is a beginner. I think that there's a lot of ease of use with these palettes. So are you going to be able to do like 10 different eye color variations? No, because you don't get 10 different eye color variations. You don't get 10 different color variations in here. The deepest color in the palette is this one, and even then, it's really not that deep. As you saw when I was swatching it, I've already rubbed it off. So I wouldn't say that it is the most versatile. When it comes to my favorite players in the palette, I have to say I really love Play It Cool here. You can probably tell in the way it's pressed. I have it on my inner corner and like down the center of my eye, but it's very icy. Not just in tone, but the way that the effect it gives when you put it on your face. I feel like it looks frosty. It looks a little more sparkly. And there's not a pressed glitter in here, so I like that element because, you know, the glitter gave it that extra sparkle that you were kind of missing. The other ones I really liked was actually this top color, Get Fresh. I thought it was a really pretty transition color. I have it down like as a base, and I really loved this one, which I have on the outer corners. So I would say in the palette, those are my three favorites. My least favorite is going to be Seltzer and Mojito Mommy, because when you put it down, it looks very similar to this, but slightly greener tone and not as shiny. I feel like they could have nixed these two. Not that this is an ugly color, but in application, you can't really tell that big of a difference between this one. And the sparkles in it don't show up, so why include them? Like these two, you could have taken out and replaced with something else. Even if you go the route of, like I showed that Strawberry Shake palette, where it's something that's not necessarily pink, but it's in a similar color story, like more of a green green or more of a blue blue, just to add a little bit more versatility. And also, I think they should have put a darker color, like a really deep mint green. Like even something like this, but mintier. This is from Storybook Cosmetics. That way, you have a wider range of versatility that you can execute with your eye looks. I keep looking at the thing. Some days I'm better at it, some days I'm not. As you know though, that's a criticism I lodge in almost every single one of these palettes. I think the color story overall though is beautiful. I'm a sucker for mint, you know that, so I'm definitely biased on that one. Overall though, my thoughts are gonna be a little bit tricky because, and this is gonna be shocking to some of you, especially Jasmine, because A, I love Colourpop, and B, mint is my favorite color. This is only $12, but I honestly don't know if I would recommend this to you guys, because palette from Colourpop right here that is green. And this one gives you a lot more versatility than this. And if you were looking specifically for mint, this would be wonderful. But if you're looking for a green palette, this isn't the superior of the two. This is way more limiting and way more specific than this, which has a little more yellow, a little more brown. You can get a lot more variety. Is the Mint to Be palette a happily ever after? For me, I'm going to say yes. You notice I didn't put in that title card with the verdict, because I love mint. For the viewers as a whole, for the overall masses, I'm gonna say it is a happily never after. Only because, and I hate to do that because I love mint so much, It is so limiting, probably of the ones I've looked at, virtually the most limiting of the 9pan monochromatic palettes I've seen. And unless you're just a diehard mint fan like me, there's no reason to get this, to be honest with you. You can get the mint effect with almost any other palette that has light greens or blues. And even some of the other Colourpop palettes themselves. The Just My Luck palette, you can even get a mint eye with that because I did it for Christmas. I don't honestly think that even for the price of $12, I should tell you that you should go out and buy this unless you just really wanted a specific look. Because I don't think adding this to your collection really adds anything to your collection, if that makes any sense. Disappointing, I know, and I'm really sad that I said that because I love mint so much. That's all that needs to be said. It just wasn't meant to be, you guys. I'm going to take some pictures of this look and throw on some pants and run out the door because I got like 5 minutes to leave. So keep an eye out for Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. I am going to do a mint themed tutorial look for you guys because I want to start trying to do more tutorials. I think it's actually going to be like a mint chocolate chip theme, so it's not just mint. And I'm also going to have an eyebrow tutorial coming soon because I've had some responses on my Instagram asking me to make one. I don't know why. But with all of that being said, as always, I am Harley Nouveau, and I wish each of you every happiness until our stars next align.